All right. So you're looking for new products for Rojo, right?
That's right. I did ask them to do some like product opportunity explorer,
Okay.
market basket analysis. I'm looking different options, but basically this client, she has a catalog of water filters, like different types of water filters, like
Yeah.
spa, pool, camping, fridge, water filters. But her niche is just so competitive that like her hero ASINs, there's about two hero ASINs that are doing well, but everything else is pretty dead. Her brand is just focused on filters, nothing else. Just struggling to find products that are medium competition because everything she's in is high competition and she's a new brand. They all have like tens of thousands of reviews. I'd like to find her something that is a bit less competitive, but still in her niche because we've been, the cost per click has been just through the roof because of the competitiveness. Yeah, it's been a struggle.
Okay. She has Amazon Choice Badge. That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So is she wanting to stay within the same type of category, or does she want to
Yeah.
expand out? Is kind of thing is how is her manufacturing as well? Is she getting everything manufactured herself, or is it kind of white labeled?
It's from China and it's white label. Yeah.
Got
It's
it.
from
Okay,
China.
so whenever we're dealing with a situation where a client wants to expand and we're looking for new product opportunities, which first and foremost, something we're probably not the most skilled at, right? But it's something we do to provide value for the clients at the end of the day. There's a couple of different ways that I've always gone about this. You've already, it sounds like, done the correct thing when we're talking about stuff like market basket analysis, product opportunity explorer. Product opportunity explorer is a great one, but it's going to keep her within pretty much the same type of niche, right? And it's just going to look at different areas within that niche. The problem you're probably going to face is comparable products. What can we actually launch that is going to be less competitive within the market? I would actually avoid both of them and I would head on over to Helium 10. The primary purpose, so let's actually do this. Let's take one of her ASINs. Does she have an idea in mind for pricing? Does she have an idea of anything around those
She is very
areas?
open. She's
Open.
very open to suggestions. I would like to find her something that's a bit more high ticket because all her stuff, as you can see, is more cheap products that are in the $20, $30 range. And if it's super competitive, there's not much margins to work with.
Yep. So here's one of the things that I always like to do. Have you used Blackbox in Helium much?
No, not this one. I've used something similar for a different software.
Okay. So I would use Blackbox whenever we're looking at something like doing some product opportunity. And the primary thing is you're not actually trying to find necessarily products to go after because, as you mentioned, she's in like a very high competition niche, right? So instead, we want to find competitors for the sole factor of finding different brands. So whenever we find different brands, the purpose is to essentially see what other people within the same type of category are also selling that is not a direct competition of what you're currently selling. So
Okay.
do you have an idea of like who our number one competitor is by chance?
No, big name brands that
Okay.
are,
So primarily she wants to do something that's not against the big name brands.
yes.
Got it. So an easy one to look for is essentially we could look at doing something in Blackbox where we look at review count, right? So let's say that we want to only look at different products that have between 50 and 500 reviews. As that's a fairly, small batch, it means it's competitors that are fairly about the same size as us. We're not going to be worried about competing, right? So you can have things like KitchenAid, however you say this, right? So let's look at them. We can easily take theirs. We'll go to Amazon. Let's look for their brand. So these guys, as you can see, are a competitor for their product, but they do something a little bit different than that. They do home in general, right? And home improvement. So this is something that I would look at whenever you have a person who is selling a similar product or the exact product of yours. An easy way to get ideas is essentially going to what they are selling and figuring out what else are they selling. So we can easily go to them. There we go. We'll click on their product. This is obviously like their number one bread and butter. And this is the annoying part of product research, by the way, is that you essentially are just looking around until you see something that makes sense. So always look for similar items. Essentially, whenever we're looking at the competitors, what are people buying together? So something like this, where we are in the same realm doing air filters, right? This is the type of thing that would work exceptionally well if she wants to stay within a similar brand identity, right? Within the filtration realm, but outside of what is extremely competitive right now. Think of it in that sense of appliances. What are different areas within her brand identity of, if we just look at hers, right? She's talking about a brand identity of Eco Blue Life. So can we suggest potentially doing a product similar to something like that, where we are doing replacement filters for different product appliances that are also eco-friendly in some capacity?
Eco-friendly, yeah.
Furthermore, I should say, this is again where I would probably then come back into Black Box to start looking for specific products. We can do that based off of keywords, right? And start to do that. So if we're looking for a keyword search, we want to do eco-friendly and get an idea, what are people having? And this is not going to show us any products that we actually want. We can see specific search volume around things like eco-friendly, what different people have. And this is where you can kind of start to talk to her around what she might actually want to sell. So the purpose that I would push here for her is, don't give a exact, this is the product you should sell just yet. Give a couple options. So eco-friendly refrigerator filters. Does she do anything with, I don't know, dishwashers or water treatment systems or anything like that?
No.
So that's another area, though, you could look at having her expand. If she's not currently doing anything when it comes to dishwashers, that's another area. And this is kind of the route that you should take anytime you're giving product recommendations to a client, because you want to give the option and allow the client to designate. But the purpose of Black Box will give us data to see if this is even worth going into, right? Something that has only, I guess, eco-friendly has about 10,000 search volume, but competing products, if we look, nothing. So let's get rid of the eco-friendly. So filter refrigerator is pretty decent refrigerator filter, about 4,000 search volume per month, but competing products, we have over 10,000, right? So potentially this is still going to be a fairly competitive niche, but the overall monthly revenue is in nearly 2 million, whereas the reviews 32,000. So this is type of thing that I would show her to say this could be a potential area. I would say this is a really good one, to be honest.
What do you mean? Because she's already selling that.
Because she's already selling in a competitive niche.
But she's already selling a refrigerator filter.
Water filter. Sorry. Maybe that's what we should probably do instead, is because she's already in this semi area, but hers is water filter, correct?
No, it's for a refrigerator. It goes in
So refrigerator water. So essentially that's where we can go into, where instead of water filters, we do the air filter for refrigerators.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Keeping essentially within that same realm of products to stay within her niche.
Yeah, so with Black Box, I'm just wondering, when you go down, there's a thing that says brand competing products over 10,000, and then you can see the reviews and it says brand reach potential 8. What does that mean?
Broad reach potential. Yeah, so broad targeting for it.
Oh, okay. I think what I'm trying to find is like, is there a tool in Helium where I can see, say, for a niche like refrigerator air filter, to say the top 10 competitors, how many of them have like, say, over 1,000 reviews? Or was that something I have to like manually go through and like count?
No, so I mean, you could look at like the competitors. So again, if you want to look at like competitors for specific products, you can actually filter by review count, right? And understand, let's say, like minimum of 1,000. And if you just wanted to put in a specific ASIN, that would give you only the products within that have over 1,000. You can also look at like product targeting, which is very similar. So it's essentially going to be the same thing. It's just not competitors. You're essentially looking for potential products under the product targeting. And then niche, what niche does is same thing, but it's phrase. So if we're looking for, again, refrigerator filters, right? And we want a review count over 1,000, we can search that within the niche of refrigerator filters, and it will give us all of the people, as well as the revenue, the average reviews, so on and so forth. This is success score. I take this with a huge grain of salt, but this is something that you could bring up as well. It's essentially saying, it's still in beta, but it's a new Helium thing where it says, what is the potential success if you were to launch within this category? And then so that's something I would potentially use, but again, grain of salt with it because it's a beta thing, but it's nice. And on top of that, you can still do the product research as well, right? So something that it sounds like looking at is a little bit more towards like definitive. So you can always do, review count over 1,000, look at specific categories, right? So what category is she in?
Home and kitchen, I think.
You can always look up here whenever you need to, whenever you need to to find it. All right, so we are in appliances. Let's do that. Tools, home improvement, appliances. Let's just do appliances in general. Let's also do this appliances. All right, so we do all of these, all the appliance ones. We're looking for review count over 1,000. Let's not fill anything else in. So what this will do is essentially give you a list of different products that are within the realm. This is where, again, I kind of would say it's better to get a general understanding from her as to what she really is looking for, because you can have everything from a $7 de-liming spring, whatever that is, all the way up to, you know, $1,000 whatever products like this. I mean, this is just a dryer vent, right? So window dryer vent, something super simple at the end of the day. So this is where I would probably focus most of your time if you're looking for specific products. And then niche is what I would probably focus on for understanding if that's a good niche to get into with that type of product.
I think I'll just have to spend some time in here and try to get her a list of possibilities.
Black box is a good place for you to start if you're not getting much success ever with this type of thing when you're looking at like Amazon side. You know, Amazon gives decent product recommendations, but black box is probably going to be a place you just need to spend. The unfortunate part with product research is that it's time consuming and it's not exactly easy in the slightest, or else everyone would just be selling, you know, products all the time.
It's so true. And especially for like a white label brands that are not really making any changes or innovations.
Does she have any like search volume with her brand name?
I don't think much, but there is a little bit. I'll have to check. We are targeting her brand name.
Do this.
No, I would say no.
Yeah, you can. So 2 ways for search volume.
Oh,
if you have the
there
Helium
is. There's 163 for Eco Blue Life water filter.
Interesting. So another way as well, Cerebro, that I love to do is just, that's not what I want to do. Let's take one of her ASINs here. If you go ever to Cerebro and you just put in any of the ASINs to look at it, you can end up doing like the exact thing. So their brand name, apply the filter and see if they have any real search volume, which doesn't look like this product does, but that doesn't mean that, you know, there's not search volume in general for it. Secondary way that I always do is just put into this and it'll tell us this. So for like keywords after, we have 79.
I know the Amazon grind can be overwhelming. From account issues to low traffic, it's a lot to handle. That's where my Amazon guy steps in. Scan the QR code or click the link, and let's work together to boost your sales and make your life easier.